grab my headphones. Hold on.
Okay. All right. So this is the last Soulpreneur Society group call that we have for our program. We've got one more person hopping on. We've got Genevieve and Marisa that are not on the call but are here in spirit. And so I want to do a group healing for us tonight. I want to talk about any areas that we feel we need some closure or support, or like, can we do this one more time? Just anything. And then I also wanted to go through the group and just listen to, I guess, your experience in the program. I think it would be really invaluable for others to hear what you've gotten out of the program, what you've learned, especially from each other. And then just kind of let this go organically. I might pull some cards. We'll just see how, oh, there's Amy, how this all intuitively flows. So with that being said, let's just jump in a little bit. Let's all close our eyes.
Raven, I don't know if it's your headset or if it's just me, but I'm having like some like echo miss with, I don't know, it might just be me too.
Is anyone else getting that?
It's getting a lot of noise. I think it's from Nicole's. So if you just mute her.
Yeah. Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So everyone's muted. There's Michaela. Hi, sweetheart. So everybody's muted. And so Michaela, we're just dropping in. So go ahead and close your eyes. Everyone find a nice, comfortable seat. Take a couple open mouth exhales if you need. If you were just frantically trying to get situated to get here, if you forgot we had our last call, if there's just anything that's pulling at you from the day, call all parts of yourself back to yourself. Release any parts of you, any parts of anyone else that are clinging to you. Give yourself a moment to reflect on any lessons, any themes of the day that came through for you. And give yourself permission to be a clear vessel, an open container to this group, to yourself, to any healing, any messages, any clarity that's ready to come through tonight, that you're ready to hear, that you're ready to experience, that all of us collectively are ready to go through together, that we fully open our heart. We allow transparency to be seen in all areas of ourselves. And we give ourselves permission to be seen transparently by our sisters, to bring the greatest healing, the greatest advancement and opening for all of us and yourself tonight. And if there's anything in your heart space that you have inquiry about, maybe that you didn't realize that's coming through right now, or something that's been weighing on you, just bring it into the heart center. Bring it into the mind. Offer it up to Source. We graciously connect into each other in this space. Not for taking, but for holding the container and supporting your growth. All right. take 3 deep inhales and exhales in the body and out into the earth, through the heavens, and back down, till you feel completely grounded, completely present, completely with us. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. Okay, so there we are. I'm trying to fix my views. Okay, all right. All right, you guys, so let's just do a little popcorn check-in. I just want to first start off and say I can't even believe it's been 4 months. I can't believe how much the time has flown by. It's been truly an honor to watch all of you guys grow and be a support to your evolution. And I'm really excited to see where all of you guys develop and launch from here. Any new insights that have come through for you, I'd love to hear. Yeah, I'm just kind of speechless. So with that, I would love to hear from you guys, you know, just where you're at, where we can hold the container for you tonight. Let's go around and do about like a 3-minute check-in, since there's a large group of us, and keep using the comment bar, the chat box, to everyone and privately. So with that being said, would anybody like to go first? Georgette, how about you? I'm just gonna pick. Yeah, okay, she's got this like big grin.
It's my energy, I think.
Yeah.
I look at myself back 4 months ago, and I can't believe the transition I made, and you know, the obstacles I overcame in the past 4 months. And I realize now that they were obstacles I were self-imposed, basically. Like, I was thinking that everybody out there, everybody was out to get me. Well, it was always me. It was always about me. It was always holding all my beliefs that were holding me back, of thinking I was not enough, not pretty enough, not smart enough. I didn't have enough healing knowledge. And it's not healing knowledge, it's a gift. Cannot get that knowledge from anywhere. It's innate. It's you're born with it. You just have to tune into it and develop it. And that's what I'm doing, you know. And I'm honoring every day, and every day I'm growing, both as a person and as a healer and as a soul. And I've been honoring just every day as it comes and what I feel guided to do. If one day I feel guided to go to yoga and then come back and swim and do nothing, I do that. If one day I'm guided to, like, okay, now you have to promote a little bit, like go to the Home Depot, or sorry, the Office Depot that did to you, Home Depot, no. And like bring some pamphlets for you to leave, you know, like all over the place, like at spas, things like that. So that's what I did today. And after that, I came back and I finished my Jinkies, which I'm kind of behind in my homeworks, guilty. But, you know, like, I rather take my time, and I rather, before, like, I compare myself now to the old version of me, where I was like this girl has to do all her homework and deliver it on time. And what the fuck that. I'm gonna finish whenever I feel a resonance, you know, whenever I feel guided to finish. And every time I've delayed it and I've read the Gene Keys again, it has clicked, and it has been in perfect timing. And the insights that I've gotten, I think, are richer because I experienced things that, and breakthroughs and aha moments and insights that I wouldn't have experienced before had I done the assignments before. So, it's just like, it's a fun journey. I'm enjoying it. I'm not saying I've mastered it fully, but I think I'm closer to that. Like, of course, there are some times where these fear and doubt creep in, where like, oh, you have enough money for 6 months of rent, and that's it. After that, like, you don't know what's going to happen. But you know what? I breathe in and I just enjoy every day, because I don't know if I'm going to be here 6 months from now. I don't know if I'm going to be called back to source. I don't know. I'm just taking every day as it is and just enjoying my life and keeping my vibe high and just pampering myself. I've been called to take care a little bit more of my body, because if I'm honest, in June, I was also like this kind of coping mechanism with uncertainty. I was giving into all my cravings, and mainly it was pastries and sugar and uh, an Italian restaurant around the corner, which didn't help me because the pizza maker is one of my best friends, and every time I went there, he gave me pizzas. So now I'm like getting back in shape, minding what I eat and cooking for myself and saving money too. And so I'm being more disciplined. So July started with a lot of discipline in my routine, in my meditations, in my physical practice and my yoga practice, everything. And I feel that I'm more in alignment now with my discipline than where I was in June. But there was also a time for me to do that. I enjoyed it too. So I don't feel guilty at all.
Well, there you go. Mm-hmm. Finding the pendulum swing.
Yep.
Amazing. Well, thank you for sharing. I think everyone was kind of beaming listening to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Yeah, so amazing. Okay. Michaela, how about you, sweetheart?
Okay. I don't know. There's like so many. My trip was amazing. Sending me the wishes yesterday. Yeah. I just feel like commitment was something that I was really trying to focus on in the program, and I think that like my follow through and like my motivation and drive to like get things done is much higher. And I had like a which is something I like never thought I would do. Like that always seemed like really far down the road, but I just like started looking and seeing. I've just been feeling like really drawn to like creating like a home base that's mine and that I enjoy. Like I don't think you can see, but like I just took down everything off of my walls in my room so that I'm just gonna like start over, because I don't know, I just yeah, I'm like, I just feel, I like thought when you were like reflect on the last 4 months, and I thought back to the very first group session where I cried like the whole time. It was just like, I'm miserable and I hate this and I don't want to live here and I don't want to be here. And that just feels like a completely different time. So it's crazy to think that it was just 4 months ago. But yeah, I even met someone last weekend, actually. So I don't know. He lives like 5 hours away, so I don't know how that's going to go. But I looked back to the beginning of the first program that I did with you, where you had me like write down like what I wanted, and like physical appearance, he is like it to a T. So we'll see how that goes. But that's my update. Life is good.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Oh, you're totally beaming.
I think he would be a nice one, which would be a change of pace for me. So
yeah.
His name's not Gary.
It's not Gary.
That would be funny though. Not Gary.
Oh my gosh. It just feels so good to hear how happy you are and to reflect on how far you've come from, a lot of sadness. And I think everyone in this room, I mean, we could say this for everyone, and I probably will, like, you guys all look different.
Mhm.
You look different. You're holding your energy differently. There's a different glow to you. There's a different light in your eyes. So congratulations. We obviously can't wait to hear how AKA Gary is gonna develop. What'd you say, Kate?
Not Gary. His name is not Gary.
Yeah. Well, how about, since I just unmuted you, do you want to go next?
Sure. So I was feeling really agitated. I did a session with Georgette, and what was it, last week? And a whole bunch of stuff started coming up, and it was right after I had been on a trip to Ghana and all these other places. I went to the slave castles in Ghana, and that's really freaking intense. And so I was just feel like I was holding all the stuff in my stomach and other places, and I was kind of a mess. And then Georgette started clearing some stuff, and then Raven today and I had a fantastic session. So it's like you kind of moving along, and all of a sudden everything goes like this, and then it's easy to kind of get back on track, So I feel so serene and calm and positive. And so if I had this call last night, I wouldn't be saying those things, but I just feel really grounded and centered. And we had another big breakthrough, I think, today, Raven and I. So it's just continuing, the continual integration, and really it's like all of a sudden there's like a whole new dimension of the world that I knew kind of was there, but I can see it and talk to it now. And I can talk to my guides, and the trees talk to me all the time. And it's just sort of like this oneness sort of with, kind of the feminine and the masculine. And I've been, like Georgette, I've been trying to work on bringing in the feminine and the motherly energy more than the masculine. And so that's been really beautiful, and keeps coming to me in different places. And there's just so much synergy. I mean, it's insane, like what we can manifest. So I'm buying shampoo today, and they don't carry my all natural shampoo. I'm like, oh God, I'm like looking around. I was like, maybe I should go back and go to the other aisle where there's not the natural stuff and just buy that Biolage stuff that I used to use. And I looked down on the floor, and there is a bottle of Biolage in the wrong aisle, like rolled underneath the like shelving. I was like, it's like anything you're asking for. It's just like, that is so crazy, like that's just insane. And that just sort of, I think, summarizes how all the spirit guides are like, oh, she needs that shampoo, someone run and get it, like my spirit guides. Oh yeah, let's get that shampoo so we can get out of here. So I sort of feel like we have a team now. I have a team, and I think we all do. And I think that's, for me, the biggest piece of this is I feel like I'm not alone, and I have all these beautiful spirit guides, and I just need to settle in and lean back and take a break. And I definitely am taking much more time just to be, and then when it's time to act for action, it, like Georgette was saying, it was like all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I got to get this email, I'm doing all these things. And then some days, like the rest of today after our session, I was like, I'll make some phone calls, I'll answer some emails, or I just walk around the house aimlessly. That's important too. So I think have much more permission for myself to be. So that's what I've got.
Beautiful. And so exciting. It's, yes, right on point, to just act when you feel like you need to act, and to be when you feel like you need to be, and to play when you feel like you need to play. It's all going to get done in the perfect time. Yeah. Amazing. Well, thank you. Thank you, Kate. All right, Amy, how about you, honey bun?
it's been a rough couple of days. I've had a lot of excitement, but also like a lot of turmoil. And I guess as I'm sitting here reflecting on the last 4 months, but then also I guess for me, like the last like week is really on my mind. Just like I feel like I'm just like going through this like ego death, I guess, in a way. I had this big realization. Andy and I backpacked into this beautiful place, but got into this huge fight. And so a lot came out of it, and like we're fine, but we were just both worn out, and from working on the house, and then doing this big trip, and but just like this realization that like I feel like I've been wanting to get like bailed out of stuff in a way, and realizing that like that's not what this is. Like no one's here to bail me out of anything, and that whole mentality of like, oh, I want to manifest all this money so I can pay off all this debt, but like where I'm like the intention I'm coming from is to like get bailed out. And I just got this like sense of like, I'm not like, if that's where I'm coming from, I'm not learning the lesson, and that's coming from a place of lack. So I'm still kind of like hashing all of that out, but yeah, I just feel like I go through these cycles where I'll feel like really great. Like couple weeks ago when we had our call, I was like feeling really in alignment, like really, really good. And then today, just really like, I really struggled in meditation today. Like I struggled staying focused, struggling with negative emotion. And so I guess like all I can say is I feel like the biggest thing I've gotten out of this is like a really transformative like ego death that's still happening. And that I'm really excited, and feel like I have a lot of things on the horizon. But that I'm really, Raven, in our last session, we talked about like an eagle picking me up and like looking from a broader perspective. And I feel like that's what's happening. But that like an eagle's claws don't feel good. Yeah. So I'm not feeling as like awesome as I was a couple of weeks ago, but I think I know it's a good thing. Like I know this is like part of the process. This is necessary. Everything is happening as it should for my greatest and highest good. Like, so yes. I don't know if that answered.
That's huge, Amy. And I think a really big, great take home for everybody, whether it's happened to them already or it's about to, or it will in the future, that there is this place where we're like, we scurry to try to find somewhere or something to save us. Whether it's in a business relationship, a romantic relationship, and coming to that realization of like, even if someone did save me, it still wouldn't save me from the lesson that I need to learn.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that and being transparent about your process, because it just really helps everybody to see, even though you hit this like ding, next step, next rung, that it and still will be on some days wobbly. And you're constantly going to be growing. There's no place where you graduated and you're like, I'm done, I'm evolved. Like, nope. Yeah. We're just going to keep going higher and higher. And as a result, be able to cultivate more energy and be able to hold more responsibility in our lives, to take in that much income, that much of a relationship, that much of a stature.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Beautiful. Let's see, Nicole, birthday girl, other birthday girl. Amy, thank you, by the way. Love you. Hold on, I gotta unmute you. Okay. I don't think we can hear you. Oh, there we go.
Okay, we'll just do it this way. Sorry, I'm in Honolulu. I have a sit up at the office space. Yeah. So thank you for all your birthday wishes. It was a really nice birthday. It was super simple, super sweet, nothing crazy. Just exactly what I kind of want. I feel like the older I get, the less and less I care about my birthdays. Just because I'm like, okay, whatever. I've just had a lot of things in the interview yesterday at the big fancy hotel up here on the North Shore. They're in the process of switching ownership, and once they switch fully, they are going to do a full renovation of this place, and it's gonna be pretty spectacular what they're planning to do with it. So I went in not feeling 100% about it because of everything that I've heard around the island and people who work there and stuff. But then I went in and they want to bring me on as a massage therapist and as an esthetician. And I can still continue to teach yoga there, which is what I've been doing. And so I'm going back in on Tuesday to do the hands part of the interview. But it's basically already in the bag, and I'm stoked on the pay. It's basically starting at 65 and going up to like probably $100 an hour. So good stuff. And just for the time being, I'm going to keep doing. Yeah,
Little
and for the time
chatter.
being,
Let's do a little chatter real quick for Nicole. A little chatter. Yes. You needed that.
and then yeah, and then I'm going to keep my independent contracting stuff going right now. Period of time to do the renovation, but they'll have all their employees on unemployment while they're doing this. I'll still be getting paid while they're doing the renovation. And right before I came down to Honolulu to jump on the call, one of the girls that I work with, she is moving to California, and she lives out of her grandparents' little 2-bedroom house in Kilauea, and I went over and looked at it to possibly rent from her. So
Okay, so can you tell everybody about like why you're doing that? Oh, so cool. Fill everybody in, please.
So Caleb and I have had on and off continuing issues from like the time I moved down here. We've definitely got into it pretty good. Can you still send me my internet track? And we sat down for us, and then like I just started can't develop on my own, and if I can't develop on my own, then we can't develop together as a couple. And we have a lot of influence from his mom and his mom's boyfriend, and it's kind of like their rules on our life when we're both in our 30s. So like literally right after I found about possibly the interview for the hotel, the girl was like, oh, I'm looking for really good renters, and you guys kind of like were the first people I thought of. And so we're gonna probably do it. Pretty sweet. It's $1,500 a month, and it includes the electricity. So, and a little like a nice sleeping area for guests. So because if Caleb and I just yes.
Wait, I think we missed like the really big part. Are you and Caleb moving? Or is it just you? Everybody's like, oh my God, we can't hear. Will you type it into the chat box? Type it into the chat box.
Sorry, the internet here sucks.
Type it into the chat box, honey.
We're moving together. I don't know if you guys can hear. But it makes me feel more secure in my own self. Okay. Oh, I suck at typing.
Okay. So what I'm hearing, what I think you're saying is you're moving in with Caleb, and it's going to help you gain more self-esteem and confidence in your relationship, like moving out of the parameters with the family. Yes. Okay. Awesome.
And I don't know. Can you hear me? Is it coming?
No, we
through
can't
clear?
hear that.
No.
Type
I'll
it in.
It.
Type it all in because it's all broken up for us. Oh baby. Oh baby. Okay, so I'm gonna shift gears, and will you type, Nicole, and tell us, like, give us the lowdown, because it's very choppy and hard for us to hear.
I wonder if
Yeah, I can't hear. No one can hear
sorry.
anything. So let's just shift gears. Marissa, how about you give us a little share?
Internet's been really bad on the island. Okay.
Let's see.
And I'm listening to you. I just lost my pacifier. So
Yes, all good. I feel like I can't believe it's been 4 months either since we started this, and it has gone by so fast. I feel like I can relate to, a little bit from each one of your shares, and I feel like now who I am now more than I was when I came into this program. I feel like I'm in more of a place of trust, and belief, and I stay in those places longer. Like, I might not have everything that I wanted to have when this program started out. Not all the dots have connected yet, but I feel better about being the one that is the person that's creating it. Like Georgette was saying about wanting to be self-sustaining, and we're sharing about wanting the solutions and the abundance to come from us and not being bailed out. Like Amy, you're saying, you're waiting for something to bail you out. And I still feel like that sometimes. I could definitely daydream about winning the lottery or some kind of random cool thing happening that gives me a bunch of money that helps me pay off debt and move up a little bit in my financial well-being as well. But like, I feel like I'm just more in a place of faith and belief that I really have the power to be the driver of the manifester, and like thinking about what Daniel was sharing back in his conversation about, the way that we communicate with the universe. And I've been really distracted the past couple of weeks. I've had people in town and all kinds of stuff going on, and definitely a lot of shifts happening within the structure of my business that have not made my days as easy as they can be sometimes. Like training new staff and hiring new people, and it's taken a lot of energy. But I also feel, like just within the business section of my life, that there is definitely some changes going on there. I don't know exactly what all the outcomes are going to be, but I'm pretty confident and faithful that it's going to work in my favor no matter what that is. And I'm trying to stay not stressed about it. I actually had a conversation with my ex, my business partner, today in person, the first time in a year that we've spoken. So it actually went really well. So I think that was kind of, it was pretty big to have that happen. It was really relaxed too. It was actually felt really good. Not saying that I trust him or anything like that, but it just felt nice to be able to communicate openly with somebody that I still have to maintain a business relationship with. I think the other piece for me that I'm realizing is like really trying to get clear about exactly what it is I want. What exactly is it? I mean, within the schedule of what I do on a day-to-day basis, as long as I am really efficient at setting the right people in place, my days can be pretty easy as for the remainder of the time that I own this business, which gives me more free time to focus on the things that, that we're all looking for. What are my gifts and talents, and what else am I here to do? And
how can I piece some of those more fun things together in my life? But I'm definitely behind on homework too, and I have to agree that it doesn't feel good doing it when it's not coming from that place that feels inspired. Like if I feel like a teenager who has to get her homework done before going to school in the morning, it just doesn't work for me. I've been so busy and distracted really from a lot of the work that we've been doing. I've been out of my flow a little bit. So try not to be hard on myself about that, but know that I'll get back into a flow. I'm still praying though. Praying for y'all. But yeah, I mean, I feel like the mindset and the tools that we got from this program and just the relationships that I've developed with all of you have strengthened me. And I know that they'll continue, like our bond that we have all together is going to continue past, whatever Raven considers to be the actual official close of the program. I know that we all have a special connection together that we can draw on to continue to help launch us forward. So, aho.
Oh, that's great, Marissa. And it's so beautiful to hear, just being honest with yourself about where you're at, what you did learn, and what you're continuing to want to, embellish and elaborate on as far as going deeper. And I do think there is this place, and it's almost like, it's like the first layer. You start getting, it's like a sign, an indicator. You're like, wow, I'm more relaxed. I'm not as stressed. I'm finding this. I'm finding, like that's your indicator. Like something's different, I normally would flare up when someone would say that to me, and I totally just blew it off. Holy crap, and it's not something that you force, it's like in the beginning, Amy was like, I wish that I could didn't have anger. And it's like, now I'm sure there's this place where Amy's not as angry naturally, because of the work that she's done. So, so I commend you and congratulate you for all of the effort that you have made in this program and the changes that you have experienced, because this wasn't anybody else's doing. This was you.
Thank you.
So, Sarah, Sweet Pea, your turn.
All right. So, yeah, very similar to what Marissa was saying. I feel like I can take a piece from what everybody had said. I can't believe it's been 4 months. I feel great. And then, yeah, it depends, right? Because I think some of you touched on, there's definitely that bipolar or feeling like bipolar moment. I had that moment between Sunday evening into Monday. I think I left Raven 2 Voxers maybe 12 hours apart. One, I was like, yes, I feel great. I'm so good. And the next, I'm like, I can't even so, yeah, definitely really intense, but feeling really good in that I'm creating more firm boundaries. I'm holding my power more. There's definitely times where with all this work that we're doing, and looking at our shadows, I'm very much second guessing myself, as in what parts of this is me, or is my doing, is my part in everything. But feeling really good. Feeling like I have a lot more tools. Kind of like you were just saying, Raven, with Marissa, of more, well, and just not being angry, but just being able to stay more grounded. Something being said to me that I'm like, okay, I could choose to get upset about that. I guess not so reactionary at times when I don't need to be, in a place that comes from like a lot of anxiety. I feel a lot lighter and more of a sense of being able to just like capture the moment now as compared to having lived in the past or having to like do for the future, shall we say. So I'm feeling good there. Definitely still feeling stuck as far as I guess like pulling the band-aid finally and just like cutting ties. That's kind of what I was meaning with like the what part of it's like my role. Like a lot of you know, some of my shadows have like come up and it's like, oh well, those are actually things that you know, Stu would point out or have been pointed out to me, you know, in other not even romantic relationships, you know, just by other people. And so just has me a lot of like questioning, and then that leads me into like second guessing my decision. And then of course the idea that he is changing and what that potential could be. And then just because sometimes I, you know, because it's fun or, you know, whatever, like I was talking to my coworker today and I was like standing in her doorway and I was like, there's just some time I want to just like have a little temper tantrum and be like, you don't get to like change and get all better now. Like, thank you very much. Like, excuse me. But yeah, so just, yeah, still working through a lot of it, but definitely feel it working. And yeah, a lot better for sure.
Sarah, do you feel like, do you feel open right now to receive any intuitive feedback?
Yeah.
You do? Does anybody, like listening to what Sarah said, does anybody have anything that they want to share that came through to them regarding this crossroads that Sarah's experiencing? Go ahead, and if anybody wants to just unmute yourself.
One thing
Oh, go ahead.
the one thing that just came up for me was the very last piece of like, you don't get to get all better now. And the thing that popped into my head was just like the phrase, like when you change and grow, like you give other people permission to show up differently in your life. That's it.
Beautiful.
What came up for me was you don't heal in the environment that made you sick. That's what came up. So take whatever it is that you need, but I had that download.
Anyone else?
I know that you were probably just kidding about that, like the temper tantrum, and you're talking with your girl at work or whatever. But you know, it almost feels like to me, I was like, oh, like, and I would feel the same way, as like wanting to punish him for the pain that he's put you through, and knowing that that hurts you, you know, and any growth that he does have personally is going to actually help your relationship with him. So. You know, as much as we want to, I would love to torture Mike too, you know. He didn't deserve it either. But yeah, like feeling that confidence and seeing what you've been able to clear and create for yourself. It's like, I think the best place is the shifts that have happened in you have probably affected him as well in a good way. You know, maybe, I don't know. We could only hope. I know we don't have control over their people. So everybody's responsible for their own growth, but
Thank you.
that's all I got.
That's all she got. I love it.
The thought that I had was that one, that it sucks that he's changing now, but I think that the changes will at least make him be a better dad, hopefully. So that's at least
Positive for Zuri.
positive, yeah.
Kate, did you want to share anything?
The only thing that kind of came through for me was just continue to be truthful to yourself. And that, I don't know where that came from. So just continue to tell yourself the truth is kind of what the meaning was. I think that fits for all of us, right? But that's what came through. Because I think, you're on this fantastic healing journey. And I think, just keep listening and know, and listening to the truth, what you know to be the truth.
Yeah. All right, my turn. Sarah, you can hear me, yeah? Yeah? Are you muted? Yeah, okay, great. Okay, so Sarah Voxered me the other day. We were checking in with each other. And Sarah, you had mentioned something along the lines of, like, I had asked Sarah what she was daydreaming, if she'd been daydreaming. And Sarah, you made mention to basically what you're talking about tonight with all of us, of like what it would look like if he did change, and that dream of you guys having that relationship and being together as a family. And I took a minute, I was like, I wasn't sure how to respond. And then what came to me, and I feel like this is a message for everybody involved, is that only you're going to know this, Sarah, for yourself. That place, as Kate was saying, about being honest with yourself, of kind of what Amy was bringing up today, of like, do you want to stay in this relationship with Stu because it's safe and it would be easier and you could stay in the hiding? Or do you know in your heart that you would grow and expand even greater without him, regardless of the changes that he's making? And so I'm not saying you should or you shouldn't, but I think that is some contemplation to give yourself some serious inquiry of why do I really want to stay? Or why do I really want him to change? Do I want him to change so that I don't have to grow any greater than that relationship? So that's my 2 cents on that. Okay, I love you. And I know you know what that answer is, regardless of if you want to answer it tonight or not. Yeah. Okay. Can you guys all resonate with that concept of like being in a relationship or a circumstance, or, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. It's like, do you want this to maintain so that you don't have to grow any larger? You don't have to get any bigger. So, all right. I am going to pull some cards into a session for you guys. Is there anything else that you guys want to share, talk about, ask questions, have any speak? Yeah.
I have one session with you left.
What's up?
Do we still have one individual session with you left?
Yep.
Okay. Just check.
Well, if you haven't done all 4, then
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know you and I work something out. I am going to share with you guys some stuff that's kind of been created from this at the end of the program. And the bottom line is, you guys, I'm not going to close the Facebook page down. The Trello site is going to be up for you to access. I'm still going to be uploading some visualizations on there that I haven't recorded yet, and I'm just being honest, like going with the flow, Occam's razor, and just like everyone has been doing, that piece of the recording I haven't done. So, but that's me wanting to be completely integral with all of you guys and make sure that I'm following through and giving everything to you guys that I know is going to be a helpful tool. I also know that we have like one more group session, group healing to do. So we can, you know, do another check-in in a month on a Wednesday night at 7 p.m. because that works for everybody, and schedule it. You know, I think that would be just beautiful. So I will make sure I get with every single one of you guys, and we'll do another check-in before in the next week or so anyways. I'm just so mama bear. Like I like can't even believe it's over, you guys. I just can't believe it. So with that being said, is there anything else that you guys want to talk about or bring up or ask questions about regarding the program? Anything regarding the modules that we can help break down for you guys before we do the journey?
I'm just so grateful for you, Raven, and for your gifts and for everything that you shared with us and the tools that you gave us and the amazing resources that you put in our hands. Because when I started my awakening journey, those were the kinds of tools, of information, of people, of connections that I wanted to have, and I manifested them. So thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Georgette.
And I was just going to say in closing, maybe there's one thing that we can all just like when we're done with the call, just one thing we'd like our sisters to continue to kind of pray for us about, you know, because I like that process. And so maybe there's just simple thing like clarity, you know, or instead of a bunch of specific things, you know, just kind of maybe one word or something that you're hoping for, so that when we all sit down to still pray for each other when we can, it's easy to kind of have a word maybe for each person that we can bring to mind.
Yeah, absolutely. And even use the Facebook page in the future too. If you're like, okay, change that prayer. Can you guys shift it over to this one?
Okay, great.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, the stuff that you guys don't feel clear on, it doesn't mean that you're not going to get it or that it's not going to happen like tomorrow or the next day. You just never know when that breakthrough, ooh, pulling on my headset, is about to occur. So can you see her like pulling my hair?
No.
Hands.
Let's get her on. You want to say hi?
Yes, Prairie. Oh, look at her all dressed up. Oh my goodness. Oh, she looks like a little girl. Hi. Hi, baby. Oh. Oh my gosh. Look how floppy your head is still. Cute. But oh, look at her now. She just really is filling in, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hi.
She's.
Her eyes are so big.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just talking about how alert she is. She's very, very alert for her age. And her, like, I can just feel her not seeing me, but sensing me. Like, she's just like taking it all in this really big way. And you notice it on her face. Are you smiling? So it really, she's one of the Soulpreneur sisters, man. She's probably helped me co-create this more than any of my guides, you know.
Yeah.
And we'll see if this wants to translate into her life in the way that she wants to bring her gifts through when she gets older too. Okay, here. Okay, so as far as intentions, if anybody has some intentions, if you guys want to put them in the chat box now. And then I can call them in when we go into space together. Hi. Okay. Sarah, wait on you. Traction for career. Okay. All right, we got everybody. Yeah. Okay. I will not be playing my drum because apparently that does not work. So let's see. I'm going to play music and I want you guys to tell me if you can still hear me over it. Can you hear me over this?
Can't hear the music.
You can't hear the music?
We don't hear the music.
Oh, maybe that's good. I'm the only one that really needs to hear it anyways because I'm doing the J for you guys. So go ahead and just drop in. Close your eyes. I am going to call on my guys. I call into the wolves of Yahweh to Tony of the North to bring the elements of water and movement for the purpose of the session. I call out to the elephants of the airmen from the east to bring the elements of earth and compassion to our hearts for the purpose of the session. I call out to the snakes of Sirius in the south to bring the element of fire to burn any barriers disconnecting us from the source. I call out to Paulo and the buffaloes of the west to bring the air element to help alchemically integrate and transform from this session. I call out to Pearl, Mother Earth, and the elks on the land to hold our energies and our bodies and work appropriately with gravity. And I call out to Nibiru, Father Sky, and the ravens of the night to help bring back the messages we are meant to hear and heal from. All right. Okay. Just set the timer. Okay. Spirit guides, guardians, ascended masters, please join me. Power animals, directions, elements, please step in. We make our way to the sacred tree and we bring her an offering. We ask that we may enter on behalf of the group, and we are granted. We'll make our way through middle worlds, upper worlds, and out to the galactic space, and I call out that we're looking for any soul parts, any helping spirits, any messages, any clarity, healing, understanding that's ready to come through at this time, specifically for Georgette to manifest 20 consistent clients per week. What does Kate need to know, do you see, feel, or heal in order for her to trust the work that she's done and lose the fear? For Amy to gain clarity around the ego death that she's experiencing. For Michaela to gain clarity on direction for her career and her path. For Cosmic Girl regarding guidance for her best outcome with her current business, manifestation of other avenues of abundance that are both fun and profitable. Attracting a romantic life partner who's also on a similar path. And for Sarah to release any guilt and healing of excess in her heart chakra. Okay. Sorry, there was a little iPhone issue. Okay. Okay. So I've never seen this before. We're all in a group. We're in a circle. We're around a bonfire. It feels like we're in lower worlds. We've been here before. I definitely know they take me to this place when I do group sessions sometimes. And what's interesting is everybody's holding hands and we're in a big circle. And it's like the guides come behind you and they crack you like with some instrument, some device that's pointy, and it's like it cracks into the back of like the shoulder blades as if, I mean, it's not killing you, but what it's doing is creating an opening, and there's just like, it's like some liquid starts to release out of your back, not to murder you, but it's as if you're releasing the stuff from your past. You're releasing out this old you that you were before you came here, before you came into this group, before you did all the work. It's like the residual leftover energetic. So I'm going to ask if there's any other information that's coming through and what this is about on a greater depth. There is this like communal release that's happening for everybody. It almost feels like contractual between the group. And then I see everybody's head tilt back. And as that's happening, I'm feeling a release out of the solar plexus. This definitely feels very energetic tonight. I'm seeing your guides and psychic surgeon come in and do some work on the heart center. And it's as if like all of you guys are asking for the same healing. So if I went through the entire list, it would be like that entire list is for everybody in the group, not just individual healing for each one of you. But on some level, on some very deep level, you know, it's not about the 20 clients, for example, for Georgette. It's about receiving that extra abundance that's coming through as a result of those extra clients. And so this is very much a collective healing. Okay. All right, so let's see. So they're directing me to Sarah right now, and it's like they are sprinkling something over the top of your head. So I'm going to ask what this is about and why they're showing this to me. It's almost like they're sprinkling something into your auric field. It feels like it's helping you to open up and awaken to the voices, the signs and the symbols, as if, I don't want to say you're missing all of them. You're not missing all of them, but it's like they will be louder. They will be more apparent for you. I'm going to have my psychic surgeon come in and do some work around the solar plexus for you. I'm just feeling a lot of anxiety and tension, and it's rising up into the heart center. So it's interesting. So it's almost like, you know, those like carnival games where you hit the hammer on this board thing and you try to get this whatever like device all the way up to hit the ringer. That's what they're showing me is like in your stomach. It's like all of this energy is anxiety fills up into your stomach, and then it finally like rises all the way up to the heart center, where it's like ding ding ding, it hits the heart center. So let me see if I can get more clear on this for you. I'm seeing like palm trees, which is interesting. It's like somewhere tropical. I don't know if you traveled there, but it's like, what's so interesting is they show you, and then they show Stu, and they show like an electric, like a lightning bolt striking through it, but it almost looks like it's on television. You know, when they show like a scene and they break the actual like slide or image, you can see it break in two. It's almost like a slide change, like if you were doing iMovie or something, like a movie program. It's like it severs into the middle, and then you guys split in opposite directions, and it almost looks as if it's like a soap opera. Like it's like they're showing it to me as if it's like a soap opera, like Days of Our Lives or something like that. So I'm going to ask what this is about and why they're showing this to me. I don't know, it just feels as if like the stuff that's happening, it's like all that energy that's rising up into the heart center feels as if it could give you like a heart attack. Like it feels like the pain in the heart is so sharp. It feels sharp, almost as if like when you take an inhale, you feel this like sharp pain in the chest cavity area. So I'm just gonna have my psychic surgeon do some work on this area, see if we can clear this up for you and release some tension out of the heart. And interesting that my throat's all tingly right now, like I can't speak. but it's almost like they're showing me this saga, like it's a drama, as if it's like you guys have acted in this part before, you've played this role before, and it's like the same thing over and over again. Not necessarily in this life. Yes, you're getting the same patterns in this life, but it feels like this is the same rodeo you've done before. And so I'm just gonna ask what we can do with this information to help make a breakthrough or healing for Sarah at this time. Seeing aloe, like aloe would be a good plant to ingest right now, like intestinally, physiologically, as well. Oh man, and my throat is so tingly right now. I'm also gonna have the psychic surgeon do some work, and I'm gonna send you some Reiki on your throat chakra as well. It's like, it's almost as if I see this energy that's like in the stomach and in the heart, it pulls the energy down. It's almost as if like you can't speak, or you're like losing your voice, or your voice gets crackly as a result. Like the energy, like diffuses your ability to communicate, almost like it's like broken up, kind of like how we were trying to hear in a call talk. And so then they're showing me the sprinkling on top of the head. So there's something, I'm like, I'm going to ask what this is about and why they're showing this to me. It feels like there's something around this sprinkling, whatever it is, that's energetic, that feels like it's going to create like an opening and release and understanding. Not right now, but as a result of, in the coming days. I'm seeing 3 days. So all of these pieces jump in the crystal. Okay, so Amy, let's take a look at Amy for you. I'm seeing these like Native Americans doing this tribal dance for you, and it's like they do something with their wrists, and it's like their head and your head goes back. There's something around, I don't know, dropping the head back once again, releasing some energy out of the throat center. And it's as if these dancers, it's like they're doing this dance of ceremony for you, but it's like also this ceremony of honoring. And you know, like it's a really big thing to go through the dying of the ego, and the dying of the ego, it's like it's a celebration. It's a massive celebration, because what it means is that you're generating more power for yourself, that you're realizing that you've been extending your energy out like tentacles, to extract accidentally power from other sources for your survival out of fear. And so what's happening is these areas are all releasing. And so because of that, you're not extending your energy out to others. I can feel this in the solar plexus as well. You're pulling this back in. So you're not releasing it out. So you've got more energy. What's really crazy to me is they're showing me a green Crayola crayon, as if the crayon's melted. I don't know why. It kind of feels like they're showing this to me as if they're like, this is pulling me back into time when you were younger. It's like the crayon is like liquid crayon. It's like liquid, melted, hot, and it's pouring into this new mold of a crayon. Let me see if they can take this, if I can take this a little bit deeper for you. I just saw this moon, like this talking moon, like you looked, if there were a cartoon version of like a crescent moon with a mouth, like an eyes and a nose, like they're showing that to me. And I don't know. They're showing me like eating the crayon as if there was like something in the past that you would be eating to fill yourself that wasn't necessarily good for you. This is like back in the day around like eating for your best ability. And it feels like there's this correlation to that time when you were doing something like that, not necessarily eating a crayon, but something along that lines that's connected with this egotistical part of you that's releasing. What is this? It's so interesting. Why are they showing me plastic? So this is definitely correlated. It's like they're showing me this like time frame of like when you were younger and had the like eating thing, and then when you were even younger than that, when you were actually playing with crayons, that there was this theme that was being the pattern was formed at that young age where, and they're showing me like reaching to your father, reaching to your mother, and reaching to your friends, like in this format of filling the gap and creating energy from outside of you. And so this is releasing, this pattern is releasing. And we're updating your Akashic records, we're updating your spiritual contract so that this frequency is released and that this new horizon, I'm seeing this new horizon, I'm seeing this beautiful ocean water is beginning to form. It's very dark blue and it's beautiful and it feels very deep and very strong and very powerful, as if this is your energy. It's very intuitive and it's very emotional, but like not in the like, oh, this chick has no control over her emotions. It's like, it's grounded, it's deep, it's just strong. And so what they're showing me is this, like, this is what's to come, this is what's forming, and that you've been feeling this strength happening, but it's slowly trickling in. It feels like it's like little drops are starting to come in, more drops of this essence are starting to fill up for you, where it's going to be like the last drop that makes the cup overflow. So all of these pieces jump into the crystal. I'm seeing like a little cherub, like a floating, like a cherub, like a, almost like a Cupid, or like it gives me the impression of like a baby. So I don't know if that's like on the horizon for you or if it's in the process of, kind of feels like it's a little baby boy. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying that it's exactly what's happening, but they're just showing that to me. So that piece jumps into the crystal. Okay, so Kate, they're directing me to Kate now. So they're just giving me this energy of like, they're showing me, it's like they're showing me you, and you kind of have your shoulders hunched forward, and there's this like and there's this innocence, this vulnerability, this just a lot of like internal, I don't want to say sadness and depression, but like just like eyes look puffy from crying all day. And not that you have, but this is the energy that they're showing me, this like essence of you. So your guides are behind you and they're like directing you to like walk up, like it's your turn now, okay, you know, and you're like, okay, you know, you kind of like walk up and there's just this playfulness that they're showing, like and also this easiness that they want to express to you, that you there's this rawness that you're experiencing right now. And it's like it's like a really, really deep cry after a breakup with a boyfriend, where it was like you couldn't understand why you guys broke up, and then because of all the crying, there was this like transmutation, this transformation that occurred, but you didn't know it at the time. And so that's what they're showing me, that there is this major change that has happened, but it's like it's still forthcoming. It's still settling, it's still sinking, it's still solidifying in your system. And to not, you know, easier said than done, I'm sure, but to not be afraid of this process, because it's already on the way. And so just as we were talking about that effortlessness of like being fearless in ways, or being less angry naturally, instead of trying to find or force or figure the way to be more happy and less angry, this is the same concept, that you are just that release of that anxiety and that agitation. It's already happened, and it's already going to continue to happen. It feels like if there was a chess game and it was 3-dimensional or even like 5-dimensional, that's what they're showing me. It's like, because of the work that you did today and the work that you have been doing, it's like, you know, that poster where they show all the different stairs, and it's like a house or like an inside of a house, but the stairs are like, you can walk upside down and it's at this angle and it's at this angle. It's like literally as if the chess piece was like that, and it went shoot, and it shifted as if it was like a 3-dimensional game. All of these pieces have shifted other people's scenarios, situations for you to start coming into your life, and space being made for you, and alignment with affiliates, with people, with and I get this message around like the business that they just were like just saying to me, where I just got quiet, was like everything needed to be in aligned. You needed to be in aligned too. And this piece also is coming through around abundance and scarcity, that it came through after the session, and they're reminding me of it right now, that this is also correlated to the second chakra, and you releasing the fear around abundance and scarcity from the work that you did today. And so it's almost as if like there's not redundancy, but you're already in that process. So all of these pieces jump into the crystal. I'm seeing now a nutcracker. I'm not sure why. Maybe you know, but they're showing me like Christmas time nutcracker, like the soldier. So that piece jumps into the crystal. Okay, so Michaela. So they're showing me the same royalty that I was shown in the previous session that we just did for you yesterday, I think. And it's like you're like this princess or this queen, and you're in this big castle, and you've got all of your servants, and it's like females. They're all around you, and they're sitting there patiently, very content and in the state of like gratitude, not in like servitude, like they're gonna be beaten for not being good servants. It's like this kinship relationship with you, this like very sweet, very patient, very loving, will be completely present and still here with you. Whenever you're ready to make a move, we'll move with you next. So I'm going to ask what this is about and why they're showing this to me. I'm seeing a lion power animal coming through for you at this time. So we'll take a look at that at the end of the session. Okay, so they're showing me you playing tennis. So I'm going to ask what this is about. And then all of a sudden my stomach kind of hurts. So I'm going to ask what this is about and why they're showing this to me. Feels like it's like there's this going back and forth, like playing tennis with yourself almost. That it's like, oh, it's almost kind of giving you this like unsettledness in the tummy of like where to go and what to do. So let's see, any suggestions? This feels like there's something around, you know, they're like, go to yoga, keep doing what you're doing, like keep in this process. It's almost like there's this place of, yeah, now I can feel the stomach starting to settle, like knowing that the answer is going to come to you and waiting until it does. So like, for example, my husband, sorry, baby girl, my husband, Matt, he didn't, so I think I've told all of you guys this, when he turned 21, he had a scrub themed party. And then when he was about 28, he moved to Honduras for 6 months and became a master diver. And while he was diving and he was out there with some other guy that was visiting, he started chatting with him and discovered this guy's vocation was a nurse. He was a traveling nurse, and he had this really profound conversation with him. And that really inspired him, sparked him within him this idea that he wanted to be a nurse. And so then he decided to leave Honduras and come back and applied for nursing school, finished his prereq, got into nursing school, and then met me, but didn't realize like the correlation and the connection with all of it. And so it feels like this is the same thing that's happening for you, that there is this place of like in a conversation with people, Spirit's going to spark you and someone else together to open you up, and that there is not anything that I could do or say in the meantime. I could make up a bunch of stuff like you're supposed to be a farmer, but I'm not going to do that because that's not what this is about. It's like they're not giving me that answer. They're not showing that to me. It feels like it needs to be divinely inspired through you, and I know that you've already been getting some intuitive ideas around it. It's just a matter of trusting it and it solidifying for you. So that piece jumps into the crystal. Let's see, Georgette. So we've got Georgette. I just keep hearing, keep doing what you're doing, keep moving in this process and trusting in every day. that you are starting to call people to you. You are becoming a stronger magnet for your clients. And you are moving in more into this place of a state of grace and faith around the circumstances, that you're just going to continually be surprised every day. And let's see, I mean, it's almost like everywhere and everyone is an opportunity to see, like, are you my next client? Are you my next client? So it's like, they're showing me you chatting in the hallway of like the elevator of your apartment complex, you at the coffee shop, you know, just like randomly meeting these people that are like, wait, who are you? What do you do? You know, and that it is in the process of unfolding for you, that you brought that up because you just wavered yourself into a place of scarcity, that this intention is what came through, but it's not like it's not already on its way and happening for you. I feel like that's something that I hear 3 months. I hear 3 months to build consistently, but that doesn't mean anything. I mean, it's, you can all, I mean, with quantum physics and quantum mechanics and your ability to communicate and drop even deeper, currently right here, right now, can be around 3 to 6 months, but that doesn't mean it can't happen faster for you. Let's see if there's anything. Unicorn, power animals coming through for you at this time. I don't know if you've been considering doing any writing, like writing a book, but that's something that feels like it's coming through for you as well, that you can work on the side. And it's almost like something around like the themes that you get with the clients that you have. Like, all of these people come to me with this issue, and you having this outside perspective of making that, helping them make that breakthrough. Using the emotion code and the other skills that you have, but it's like, this is what I found, and helping people make those breakthroughs in a faster way by writing this book, or the stories, or stories of the emotion code, or something like that. So that piece jumps into the crystal. Did I get everybody? No, Marissa. Okay, so Marissa. So I'm seeing a leprechaun coming through. And it feels like it's lucky. It feels almost like it's from the fairy realm, or like the gnomes, or, you know, something of the mystical realm like that. And it feels like it's coming through as like a reminder. It's like you forget how lucky you are. And I don't mean that in a, you don't realize how lucky you are kind of thing. It's like, if you take a step back and you look at your whole life, you're like, man, I've actually have been pretty lucky. Like, things have actually fallen into place. Like, things have, you know, like I met this person, I aligned with this thing. Like, there's been some good luck. And it feels like this is coming through to remind you, like, get into that place. And I feel like it was an era of like right around high school where you were like, you realized this, you kind of knew this, you were almost conceited about this, and then life circumstances happen and you're like, oh shit, maybe I was a little too cocky, you know. But it's not. It was like life circumstances happen as life lessons for you, but in no way, shape, or form does that negate or take away from your luckiness. And so this piece jumps into the crystal. They're showing me like these two angels. It looks like female, and they whisper in your ears at night. It's like they whisper when you're in a place where you can receive. And it's like almost makes me want to cry a little bit. It feels like they do this, I don't know, some type of frequency opening, and the whispers are like vibration or something, where it's helping you to soften and to surrender, into this like tight, it's like they're helping you release the tight grip, release the tight grip, release the tight grip until you like fully let go. So there is this processing that has been developing for you. It's going to continue. It's like you give permission for them to do this, and you're in such a malleable state in that place when you're sleeping that it's working. So they just are bringing this through to let you know, like, if you have been noticing anything, having any weird dreams, or having some inclinations like right before you go to sleep at night, it is them. And it's not anything out of like that you haven't on a higher conscious asked for, off of your free will and your permission. So this piece jumps into the crystal. And I'm seeing like this black horse, and it's like, I don't want to say it's a stallion, but it's definitely a wild horse, and it's like on a rampage. And this just feels like what's about to happen, like something, it just feels like it's going to happen fast. And you're going to be one of those people where you're like, yeah, the program was like great. I had all these changes, but it was like, boom, right after the program, it was like fast forward, you just jumped. And the whole concept of you like doing something different for yourself will happen as you start to surrender and release even more, surrender and release even more. And so the first piece to this is getting the studio sold, or just like the situation in which you're in shifted to the point where you've got even more space and celebration and joy, where you can actually open yourself up to the newer possibilities for you. And so it's all happening. It's all happening. I'm just going to have my psychic surgeon come in and do some energy work on the throat, heart center, and we're going to ground your feet into the earth, just to help you start slowing the thoughts down. And yeah, it's almost as if you process things too fast. So it wants to slow down so you can see it, feel it, digest it, and release it, that which is no longer serving you. Because it's almost like everything comes in so fast, you miss all those little kinks that are denting your energy, or holding you, or keeping you from continuing you to grip that this spiritual realm tight, instead of release and surrender for the ride. So all of these pieces jump into the crystal. Let's see. I think I got everyone, yeah? I think I got everybody. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else that's ready to come through for everybody at this time. So they're showing, it's as if like a cowboy like ropes everybody around their waist and pulls everybody in. And what they do is they pull everybody into a closer and closer and closer circle until everybody has to step into the fire. And so this feels very symbolic, as if you guys are all have contracted and agreed to step into that fire and the brimstone together. That you are transmuting together, that you are rising as a phoenix out of the ashes together. And that this will continue. This is not just this isn't the end of our relationship and our circle as a group. It may be just the ending of the beginning of the program. The ending of the program and the beginning of this new development. So great. So I'm going to have my guides take us back from where we are to where we begin. We're moving out of the galactic space through upper world, middle world, and back into our bodies. I'm going to blow these parts into the crown of everybody's head and into their heart. And I'm going to rattle to bring all parts of me back to me, all parts of you back to you. Place a gold rose on the top of the head and magnets to the bottoms of the feet. Call myself back, and when you guys are ready, go ahead and open your eyes. Let's see, I know I had the lion for somebody. What else do they have?
Unicorn for me.
Oh, unicorn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the lion, hold your head up high. Keep your dignity no matter what you're faced with. You're much stronger than you think you are. You need to use your emotional strength in this situation. Call upon the well of courage that's available to you to confront this uncomfortable situation. And maybe that's like the whole, like, it's uncomfortable not knowing what I'm doing, like what my career is kind of thing. When faced with a tough decision, follow your heart rather than what you think you should do. So maybe that's what you're like, the whole like the tennis going back and forth with like the head and the heart, the head and the heart. Where do I go? What do I do? And then the unicorn. Oh, you are tired, little girl. Okay. It's vital that you pursue any creative or artistic interests that you've suppressed until now. You'll notice more signs and visitations from the nature spirits and elemental kingdoms, such as the fairies and the sprites. Let go of your worries and responsibilities for a while and just play and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Suspend your disbelief and open yourself to perceiving any and all helping spirits from the non-visible world. You're going to meet some gifted children who have unusual artistic and creative talents, and you'll learn some important things from being around them. And you're going to experience a surge in your personal power, so use it wisely.
Wow. The stallion was another one. She had that. Yeah, that
Oh,
stallion.
the horse. Thank you. Oh, I know, monkey. Okay. You are about to embark on an unexpected adventure and will have to move very quickly once it's initiated. It's time to free yourself from those physically and emotionally constricting aspects of your life. You need to call upon reserves of stamina and strength to get you through this ordeal. And you're much more powerful than you think you are. This situation requires strong warrior energy balanced with sensitivity, patience, and compassion. Teamwork with your family, friends, or community is important right now. Oh. All right, how's everybody feeling? Any comments?
So as I was like typing out the intention that I wanted to for this, I literally heard, "You'll figure it out." So you saying it, I was like, okay, all right. You don't need to worry about it right now.
Okay, great.
Anybody else?
It's interesting that you talked about like both for all of us, but then also for me, like the head tilting back because I've been doing some of Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditations with like the breathing, like pulling your energy up and like holding your breath and squeezing and like activating the pineal gland. And every time I do it, I feel like I have to go like this and like tilt my head back. So that stood out to me. And then the Native Americans dancing, like I feel like almost every time I go into Journey Space, I see that.
Mm.
So
I do too.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe we were in the same tribe in a past life.
Same around the fire.
Yeah, dancing around a fire. Yeah.
Mm.
How about you, Sarah?
Good. I thought it was very interesting. You were seeing palm trees and then a rip between it or something. And immediately I saw, Stu and I got married in Florida on the beach between two palm trees. And so I saw like one of our wedding pictures and like basically like a rip between that. And then what you were saying around the heart, and I think I had maybe told you about on Saturday night, just like feeling like my heart was like being like, I had this like feeling of like someone holding my heart and like just like it being squeezed. So I kind of went back to that. So that was very, very interesting. Yeah.
That's powerful. Georgette, how about you, Sweet Pea?
As always, Raven, so on point. Everybody I look at as a potential client, I go to coffee shops and I talk about what I do if like the occasion comes up, if the opportunity comes up. And at that restaurant where I was telling you where the pizza maker works, my friend, I usually sit at the bar and then people come talk to me and I strike up a conversation. And last Saturday, a lady came up and she told me, oh, well, since my husband passed, like it's been really hard. And I told her, well, that's what I do, like I released emotions. So you might have something trapped around his death. And I think I could help you. So I gave her my card. I always carry my cards with me. And now like I'm going to start carrying the brochures, because they explain more in depth what I do. And it's easier for them, I think, to look at it at a brochure than going to my website and, like just read about it there. So yeah, I think that was like case in point. And I feel that, doing what I'm doing, that's the message I keep getting every day. Like just get up and have fun. Just get up and do whatever it is that nourishes your soul, whatever it is that makes you feel good, do it. And that's what I've been doing.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I just had kind of an epiphany as you were speaking, Georgia, just about, I think for all of us, a lot of the journey, and it just came from your words, is we started this place on like, get me more money, your clients, and help me. And where we're coming from is like, I just picturing you out in the community telling everybody what you do, not because you want to make money or have 20 clients, because people, you're a gift. And you have a beautiful brochure now, and you have cards, and you have your voice, but it's really not about you. It's about you sharing your gift with people. And I sort of feel like that's happening for me too. It's like this motherly energy coming in where maybe I just need to create space for people and be there for them and stop worrying so much about my own stuff. And I just sort of feel like that's resonating. It's sort of like we're moving past our self-absorption that I think, naturally you start there, and just all of us like seeing our role in the bigger universe as healers and as people, just light beings, we're bringing light, and that's what our main job is, and we're all doing it in different ways. And so it kind of just sort of like there's like a shift, that I just sort of felt just now, like, oh, that's what's different now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
And Kate, for you, how was that piece?
I'm still trying to integrate the hour and a half we spent earlier today, which was so freaking profound. I was like, wow. But I think, just all especially for me, playfulness and the easiness. I mean, that's who I am. Like I can be a very playful person, and I do my best when I remember to balance that hard work with playfulness and easiness. And so I think that's, I'm not sure the hunched shoulders and that part, like I can picture several times in my life when I've been like that, but I wasn't sure if I was younger or older, like college or like, younger, but there's something there that's wants to come up. So thank you.
Yeah. Marissa, how about you, Sweet Pea?
Well, I love the Lucky Leprechaun, and it was just nice to have that little vision come in for you. And I think one of the things that I have been trying to remember lately is that I am lucky. Interesting about the piece that you said, oh, like back when you were in high school, it was almost like you were a little cocky about it or something, like I have just been thinking, lately about all the things that do really work out for me. I mean, even the way that I acquired the business that I have, and how it was such a blessing, even though it's a place of stress for me right now at times. Like, I do feel lucky. And I also have been trying to remember and focus on those things that have worked out for me really well as I'm staying in that place of faith and trust, and communicating with the universe, like what I'm trying to manifest now moving forward. And the angels, the 2 female angels at night, that's interesting as well, because I have been praying and like trying to talk to my spirit guides more, and like just wanting to feel them. So it's nice to get the confirmation that they're there helping me to change and shift my vibrations while I'm sleeping. And then with the horse coming in, like the change happening fast, I feel like I'm in a place where I'm like really like bring it, there's got to be a shift here. I feel like a couple big shifts in some certain areas for me could really open up a lot of things. So yeah, so good and gooder.
Gooder. Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Woo. What was it? The crayon thing. Who was the crayon thing?
Amy.
What was that?
Okay. So this is so silly. When I was a kid, it doesn't have to do with crayons, but this is what popped up in my head when you were talking about it, was when I was a little kid, I used to chew up Skittles, like different color combinations together, and then spit them out and freeze them. To like see what they did.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
So, I don't know.
That's all I got.
So is that a black cat right there in the? Oh, hi, baby. See, our witches and our cauldron and our brimstone. You got our black cat there too.
Oh yeah, she was being really sweet during that. She'll do this sometimes where she'll crawl up onto my chest.
Oh.
And then want to
purr.
In. And she was doing that.
Oh.
But yeah, Raven, that made a lot of sense. Like the energy going out, like calling it back in, like feels. And I think it's even a little scary sometimes. Like I was feeling a lot of fear a couple weeks ago. I think Kate, I talked to you and Marisa about that. Like just like feeling a lot of fear around like, oh, like, okay, like I asked for this, now I have to do it. Like, and also this feeling of like I can't unknow what I know now. Like I can't go back to, like I had a girlfriend come over because she's going on a business trip, and so I gave her she needs some like business wear. And so I have a couple of I let her borrow. And we were just like sitting in the back, the back porch and like drinking wine, and I was like, yeah, like I could just like go back to this. Like I had this moment of like, maybe I just like let all this go and I'll just, whatever. And it was almost like I had this like tap on my shoulder, like, no.
Not happening, girlfriend.
You know, like sometimes I have these moments of like, oh, I'll just, you know, like I'll just forget all about this and you know, I'll just, you know, whatever. And it's like, yeah, no.
So really quick before we end, I would love to go around the circle and just share like what strength, what ability did you cultivate? Did you recognize in yourself like I am stronger than I realize that I am, or I'm more intuitive in this capacity. Like this is the thing that I'm never going to be able to unlearn. What's the thing about yourself that you realize, that you've come to realize about who you are, that you're never going to be able to unlearn or not know anymore from this point on?
Self-reliance for me. Because at the beginning I was like, okay, Raven's gonna be there and she's gonna be helping me through all of the doubts that I have. No, it doesn't work like that, you know, like I have to turn back in and connect with my inner guidance, which, you know, it's you gave us the tools to do that. So yeah, it's self-reliance for me, definitely.
I'd say mine is trust, you know, trust that I'm being guided. And even when I see the evidence, I used to deny it before. And I, like you used to say, I was dancing around God. Like I'd have all these little things I would do, but it was never connecting in. And I feel like I've connected in, and that's my superpower, is that I'm connected to the divine source now. And I just have to, you know, dance with God instead of around God. And it's just this trusting thing. And I think for me, the most important thing is I know this is going to sound weird, I just don't give a shit. You know, like it's like this serenity, this like whatever, it's all going to work out. Just listen and work hard when I feel like I need to work hard, and don't work hard when I don't feel like working hard. And it's this sort of trusting. And I know it's just the very beginning, but it's really powerful.
I realized that this is going to sound strange, but I'm not fooling anybody in the sense that I don't feel like I've seen the power that I have that other people have seen, like the people close to me in my life. But that I've spent so much time and energy trying to make people think I'm a certain way. And I just like realized like I'm not fooling anybody. Like everybody sees who I am, and that I don't need approval or validation from anyone else. And to accept and realize that like I am powerful and that everybody sees that.
Right.
I think for me, it's been just the self realization that, you know, the self-reliance, like a little bit like with what Georgette is identifying with a lot. And to be really honest, I think that's like a really big piece for me, you know, to be really confident, have more confidence in myself, and the trust and the faith that, you know, I can manifest whatever I want. Like it's not going to come from, you know, outside sources. Like I've got to trust in myself that I can do it, not be afraid, not feel dependent. And I do feel like that now. Like, even though sometimes I don't necessarily know exactly what's going on or how I'm going to draw in exactly what I want. I feel just like a sense of relief knowing that it's me, you know. And a little bit of what I can identify with what Kate was sharing too, that like finding the signs and the magic and the connection in my daily activities, you know, in the drive to work, or the, you know, the making breakfast at the house, or like it doesn't have to be this like big event, this like big epiphany, that like, you know, the connection is it's now, you know, it's in the now to now moment, you know, and just paying attention, feeling more connected, just on a regular average day.
That's huge.
It is.
I just want to say first that Kate, I'm so excited to hear you say that. Like, I don't know, like I just had like from the moment I met you, like I just have like this like vision of like just like you like holding onto a rope and just like gripping so tight and like
Oh my gosh, yes.
like if I have to hold on this tight and I just
Yep.
let go. And so I'm very happy. I'm very excited that that's how
Thank you.
I think that for me, like the first thing that came to my mind was just that I finally feel like I'm enough, that like I don't doubt myself as much anymore. And I don't like if like something doesn't work out or like there's not like a connection or like, you know, like things just don't like work out the way that I thought they were going to, I don't spiral into like, what did I do wrong or why wasn't I enough or like what am I lacking that like didn't make this work out. And just like you guys were kind of saying, like just every day, like I had one of my friends ask me last night, they were like, what was the best part of year 24? And I was just like, I didn't even know how to explain it because I was just like, I just feel different. Like everything, I don't have a best part because everything is good. And so even when the days are shitty, like it's okay. It's still good. So yeah.
I would agree with that. And a lot of what everybody has been saying similarly. Self-power and worth. And being able to return to that sense of self-power. Like it might not always be there and be wavering, and I might spiral into anxiety, but ultimately I can return back and know that that is still there. And then, yes, like all of the little day-to-day things and seeing, you know, the synchronicities and the little signs and the symbols and letting things go, and yes, being enough, working on that one still. Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is so cool.
I forget. I wanted to share with you what I did with the thing you gave us, Raven, for Dharmala. Like
Oh wow.
like I really wanted to have it like on my.
Oh my gosh.
It's a reminder, you know, like of our society, our sisterhood every day. So
Oh, I like that. That looks cool.
Yeah, it's like a menu holder. So.
Oh wow.
It's a really cool menu holder.
Yeah.
But I got it at my favorite place now, the Office Depot. So
not the Home Depot.
No.
yeah, not the Home Depot, the Office Depot.
That's amazing. The Home Depot gave me a really funny picture in my head when I imagined you going to the Home Depot and talking to people about your program, your emotion code, which I'm sure there are people there, but Office Depot would probably be more, and even Barnes and Noble.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna close this now. I will send an email out to each one of you guys to get on another call and just do a final check-in. I've actually been in the process of, I did get some of your testimonials. For those of you that haven't had a chance to send me one, I would love it. But I did create like a little, I actually just finished. It took me probably like 50 times. I'm being overzealous, but I probably tried to re-record like at least 20 times what I wanted to say, and finally did it. So I just wanted to show you guys what I did. I'm going to send it to you, and anybody that you guys know that you think would be a good fit for this program. I am starting one in first week of August. I think this is it. Can you guys see this? So this is my little video. It's 7 minutes exactly. And I just recorded it right before we got on the call. And then here's a couple testimonials and information. So the video says it all. And then the email gives more, it gives a little bit more of a deeper description.
All that shows is your URL thing.
Yeah, where do we?
Oh, it's just showing the URL. Let me try it one more time. Sorry. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Oh. Is this what came in the email, Raven?
No, that was just to send out to my newsletter.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm going to send specifically to people that I think would know people that would be a good fit or would be a good fit. So I'm going to send this to you. And if you guys can forward it to anybody you think that would be, that I don't know, that would maybe be a good fit for what this is.
Okay.
Okay. And that would be wonderful. I would be so extremely grateful. I'm not really good at asking for help. And that's been a big message for me, to put myself out there and trust in this process. You guys have been a really big validation for me that this is a gift of mine and that this does work. And so thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And all y'all.
All y'all.
All y'all.
All right. Well, you guys get to bed. I will add this link or the video onto the Trello page, and then we'll just schedule another group session for August. We could do 90 minutes or 2 hours, do a quick check-in, do a group session. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Hey, Raven, did you ask for a headshot of me? I can't remember.
Yes, I did. And Georgette,
Okay.
I did for you too. And if you guys are okay with me having your picture and next to your testimonial, send me your picture with your feedback. Okay. And if there's anything that you feel like sharing with me, like I would have loved to have learned more about this or have had more support in this area or just anything, it would be invaluable for me to know that so that I can make sure that I add that. You guys are you waving or just I have
Waving at Michaela, sorry.
Okay. I will do that too.
I just texted her.
Oh, awesome. No, it's funny because I talked to Michaela yesterday and I was like, have you talked to Amy? Have you guys been at the coffee? So
Not yet.
you guys need to reconnect. And I can't tell you how overjoyed I am to know all of you guys are connecting, not just with your accountability angels, but with everybody in the group. That just really warms my heart to know you guys have like sunken into each other in a way that was very organic and not forced. So I just feel blessed to have you guys in my life and honored to be a part of this process for you. And I'm going to shut up now. I'm going to let you go because this baby's ready to go to bed. She's
all right.
Bye, girl. Bye,
Bye,
Carrie.
bye, Prairie.
See you
Good night,
guys.
everybody.
Thank you. Good night.
Much love.
Love you guys.
Love you guys.